Working on an old Jeep like Jane would be a lot harder to do if it weren't for the fact that companies like Omix-ADA still manufacture and sell authentic Mopar reproduction products. In fact, you could practically build a CJ from the ground up using their OE parts, and for our purposes, that made it a lot easier to breathe some new life into some old iron. It's Christmas time for Calamity Jane. Look what just showed up. So we've got this pallet all unwrapped, moved over to the side. We'll start opening up some of these boxes to see what's inside of them. This first one should be a brand new Radiator Fan Shroud. So this is real nice because a lot of Jeeps, especially older ones that is, for one reason or another, they're missing a radiator fan shroud, and without one, all the fan blades do is just push air around. With a fan shroud in place again, they'll actually be able to pull the air through the radiator and cool it off. It's a brand new set of fender flares. Look how black they are. That should be real nice. Now these two boxes, they should be brand new fenders. What's cool about Omix-ADA is that they actually manufacture this stuff still for old CJs, even intermediate ones like we have on our 74. That's awesome. Oh, it looks like they've already come with holes all ready to go. Jeep right now, our CJ5, currently rattles around a lot when we drive down the road because I'd say half of the body mounts are either loose, worn out, or just missing altogether. So this is a brand new body mount kit, complete with hardware. So these are a brand new set of LED taillights that Omix-ADA is making. Give a little modernness to our old school Jeep. Last but not least, this really big box here should be a brand new hood. As an added bonus, we're going to go ahead and install a set of rocker guards, which is something we've always wanted to do anyway, because we'd like to take this CJ out on the trails once all is said and done. So we picked up a set of Poison Spyder rocker guards. These are actually made for a late model CJ5, more like a 76 on up. But fortunately, we sized them up. I think dimensionally anyway on the outside, these should fit just fine. We'll just have to solve or figure out a way to get them to mount underneath the tub, but I don't think that should be too much of a problem. So this hole right here, because we're going to be installing rocker guards, I didn't feel like it was important to completely remove this metal and replace it with new metal. So what we're going to do is we're just going to open it up as much as possible and treat it with some Por 15 putty. By no means is this a perfect solution, but it'll get the job done. Time to strip more of Jane down and get her ready to do some body work. So our worn winch that came with this 1974 CJ5, this 8074, came with these plugs that were inserted into the Haas fairlead to help prevent theft. So what we're going to do is try to remove this in order to get to the bolt behind it. So first of all, I'm going to sand it all up to make sure that I have some kind of metal to bite into because it was previously painted. Alright, I just disconnected the wiring to the battery for this winch. We're going to go ahead and take it off so that we can remove the winch plate and maybe even the bumper so we can get access to the front grille, clean it up, and make it look all pretty. Sanding layers upon layers of paint down to the metal is a hell of a job, and it's hard to find the motivation to do. Fortunately, there wasn't an urgent need to get it all done all at once, and now was as good a time as any to at least get started. We're going to do a quick test fit of our rocker guards. I've already tried placing them up once and measuring it out, marking off where we're going to drill our holes. Just going to double check things before we actually start drilling holes. Measure twice, drill once. Unlike a 76 on up CJ5, where it would actually tie into the body mounts, the rocker guards would tie into the body mounts, our intermediate CJ5 won't allow you to do that. So we're still going to allow the rocker guard to put all its pressure on these cross supports on the bottom of the tub. But we're going to drill a hole through the tub itself, and we'll actually set up some spacers to just tie it in. What we're going to do is use these large fender washers, which are normally used for things like seat belts or seats, to tie them into the tub. Have this large crush sleeve in between, and then we're going to be sandwiching everything else in between on here on the tub, and then tying it all in. Drill out this last hole because we're going to be replacing this entire fender. So we'll wait until we get the new fender painted and installed before we go ahead and address that. With everything pre-installed and ready to go, it's time to take these rocker guards to powder coat. That's all we have for today's show. As you can see, we still have a long road ahead of us, but we hope that you'll join us again as we continue to breathe new life into some old iron and make some sense of the calamity that is all Jane.